Hey, this is gonna be my last video. It's like 1:15 at night. I'm in excruciating pain because the more stress I deal with at this place, the more pain I get in. I'm probably gonna go to a hospital. I am gonna go to a hospital after I create the video, charge my phone, delete my Instagram because I have no more space in this phone, so I can't post my last two videos. I deleted everything possible that I could. I still can't post the last two videos, so I'm gonna delete my Instagram, open up a new Instagram, J Tracy, and then I'm gonna post the three videos. I'm gonna add something about my dad. Where I'm almost positive he tried to burn down a building when I stuck him $3,000. And I'm not gonna, just about the mafia, and then mention my it's connection to my grandmother had the mafia too. Um, she was next to, I was telling you, Butch Argo and those guys I played in the card game with. They're no mafia guys, and one of the guys was Marenka. Actually, that's the girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, the one girlfriend I had that and like I said, my brother married into a mafia family, and the one girl like asked me out pretty much, and she was mafia, and no other girl asked me out. And Marenka, she was coincidentally in the nursing home. My dad or my grandmother was next to the Marenka, the other mafia guy in the nursing home, and then Butch Argo would visit Marenka, and then because he's friends with me, he found out that my grandmother, yeah, he found out. Would stop and give my grandmother a present every day. And I always tell you to have these secret meetings where they could like talk to one another. And so like my grandmother, that was just one huge telltale sign that I figured out that she was a mafia. Like right next door in a nursing home, she's right next, and she was like, I don't think she was ever in a nursing home either. It was just the one time, but she was right next door to the guy who was the other mafia guy, Marank, who's friends with Butch Argo, who that's the card game that I got down or got up 3,000 to Mark Giannone, and he ended up killing himself. He was the happiest go lucky guy in the world. Even the guy, the mafia guy from New York City, or not New York City, Binghamton, is like, why? He's like, I don't understand how Mark could have killed himself. He's like, it doesn't make any sense. And they had the same online accounts. So but my dad, my dad would always flip out if I like took $20 off of it. And then he was on vacation with my brother in the Cape Cod. My brother paid for the vacation. And I ended up having a gambling problem, and I just kept depositing. And I got down 3,000 under his account, and I just wasn't in the mood. Because he was going to snap on me, and I just told him I'm not in the mood to snap on you. I hung up on him, and then he wasn't that fucking irate. So all of a sudden, I find out that the hotel almost burned down, and they said it was lit by a cigarette that started the fire. And my mom's going to me. She's like, they're gonna. She's laughing because she's like, your dad was in the shower at 6 in the morning, but he went downstairs and he had a cigarette at 5:30 in the morning, and they're gonna think it was him. Laughing like how outrageous it could have been him. But how many times you ever hear that like a cigarette almost burns a place down, like a cigarette lights the place on fire? And I probably pissed him off so fucking bad, and he's on the vacation that he tried to fucking light it, and then he came out in a towel, so like they would never suspect him. Like how would he be the one who did it? Because he's in a shower, just to cover. I don't think my dad ever woke up and would have a cigarette like that early in the morning, or to walk outside to have a cigarette. You know what I mean? He would always take a patch whenever he's with like in public with like my brother and him. So I just wanted to mention that, and I mentioned all the other stuff about my father. The 10, 1, 2, and 10, or 1 in 10,000 for the car to malfunction twice. When I was disobeying him, the one time in high school, and then the one time when I was paying back the bookie from the New York Mafia. But I didn't pay in 10 years when I was living at my dad's house. Gave me $20 a day, and how disrespectfully hit a bookie. So, and then all of a sudden he has me switch the car, doesn't tell me, go to the bank, and then I cut the wheel a little too hard. At least maybe I didn't even do that. Going 40 miles an hour, and all of a sudden fucking my body ends up on the other side of the car. Like the one kid's looking bug-eyed in the rearview mirror. It freaked me out. Like, do not move. And I had 14 broken bones and paralyzed from the waist down. It was fucking a mess. As if I was going like 90 miles an hour. So probably the car probably accelerated. God only knows. Like I said, my uncle, who I called him a pussy because he was pissing off the side of his thing on a wedding, and I called him on Facebook publicly. And then my grandparents were best friends with the Joyces, who they're involved in the card games too. The guy who owned the insurance, he played with Butchie and Dave Wong and Gelati. And Gelati owns a car dealership in Oak with Moscow Joe, and he's the one who came in out of the blue. And it was all my family in Moscow Joe or Joe Anastasi. Like the first day I had my accident, I wasn't even that good friends with them. But Gelati calls Butch Unk, and they all played in the same card game together. And then so did John Joyce. And my grandfather and John, their father, were best friends in the army. And they're idiots. And they own the insurance company that makes millions of dollars in Pittston. They're really stupid people. And I'm like, their brother, they didn't give me anything. Well, the John Joyce did. He would give me like $200 a lot of times. But then he mocked me too. Like I would ask for something, he'd put the phone on, like he wouldn't turn the phone off so they could all hear me in the card game. And he never came visiting me or anything. He would just ship money. But the one uncle said that he's like, you and Uncle Mike should get in business. And Uncle Mike ran his own businesses, so he could have hired me, but he never did because he hated me because I called him out publicly, called him like pretty much a pussy, like thinking he's tough for taking a piss on his wedding day on a bus or on a trolley. And my brother thought it was like the coolest thing, and I was like, so like, it's like what the fuck? It doesn't make you tough. So I called him on Facebook publicly, and then he was always nice to me. But he was an expert mechanic. He fixed cars for a living. So, and my dad fixed machines. He taught himself how to fix. He was the postmaster, fixing machines. So that's pretty much that. So